Hi everyone, this is Amy from Transform at Amy Burke Yoga. I am here today to teach you a little sample of our alignment flow class that we offer at the studio as well. Hopefully this will be around 20 minutes, so it's accessible to most levels. If you have a little bit of experience with yoga, you can certainly do this, and if you're just starting out, you can tame it down and make it what you need to make it for yourself. So I recommend having a couple of blocks handy and maybe a strap. If you don't have those, don't worry. You can also grab a pillow from your couch or a blanket and roll it up if you need something underneath your sit bones. So we're going to start today with in seated pose. So I'm going to use a block to show you how you can sit on a block. So taking a block and just sitting on your block or a pillow, and if you don't have one, you can just sit on the ground and crossing one leg in front of the other leg. So staying here in what we call easy pose. And just taking a moment to get settled in. So maybe you want to close your eyes or perhaps just gaze off the tip of your nose. Have a nice long spine. So see if you can just kind of wiggle yourself around a little bit to extend upward from the root all the way out the crown of your head. And we'll take a moment here to close our eyes, lowering the shoulders away from the ears and softening the face. Just check in with yourself. It's always a good idea to pause a moment before starting your practice, giving yourself this opportunity to ask yourself how you're feeling in this very present moment. Taking some awareness to the sensations within you and maybe the sensations outside of you, the temperature in the room. When you're ready, you can just bring your attention to the parts of the body that are touching the earth or the block, feeling that connection to that solid foundation that's supporting you right now. Feeling the pull of gravity, anchoring you down. And then bringing your attention to the breath and just taking a few inhalations and exhalations just to notice what your breath feels like today. These times when we can pause are so valuable to our mental and physical, emotional well-being. Taking the moments to be still and to allow the body to catch up to all the things that we're trying to have it do throughout the day. Letting it rest for a moment, letting it recalibrate. Start to deepen the breath, bringing the breath in a little bit fuller, maybe allowing it to go down into the navel space and then filling up like a glass of water all the way up to the top of the collarbone. And then allowing the breath to release top, middle, bottom. And as you inhale, feel that expansion of the lungs, the ribs, the belly, the body, the breath. And then as you exhale, feel the natural contraction of the body as the breath releases. Allowing for a sensation of release. Inhaling and filling, stretching the breath within you, and exhaling and releasing the breath and the contraction. Your gaze, again, can just be at your third eye, which is in between the eyebrows above the bridge of the nose. You can gaze off the tip of the nose with your eyes open 1/10 of the way. As you move through this practice, allow the breath to be with you and guiding you and helping you move from posture to posture. And whenever you feel lost, just come back to that inhalation, full and expansive, and the exhalation. When you're ready, we can start to circle the neck around, just making some gentle neck circles. So they can just be tiny. They could just be very, very small neck circles. As you do this, allow your jaw to just relax. And then circle in the other direction. Again, this is just going to be a sample, but it's certainly a practice that you could do every day. If 20 minutes to start your day, 20 minutes on your lunch break, 20 minutes at the end of the day, whenever you can. Any little bit of yoga or movement, breath, pausing is going to be beneficial. Something is better than nothing, right? We'll move on to our shoulder rolls. So just take your hands and cup them on your shoulders. And if it doesn't feel accessible to do that, you can just do this without touching the shoulders. You can put the hands down if you want. So we're just going to roll the shoulders up and back, creating these big circles with the elbows. Imagine that you're just drawing circles with your elbows. And when you circle back, feel that expansion of the chest and the shoulder blades come together. And when you circle forward, feel the shoulder blades spread apart as the elbows come together. And circle in the other direction. I would recommend doing shoulder circles probably several times throughout the day. We tend to carry a lot of tension in this area. So these are very lubricating to the joints, and they just help us to slouch off that excess tension and stress. Good. And then when you're done, you can go ahead and bring your hands out in front and just start circling the wrists around. Again, our hands do so much for us throughout the day, and we don't quite give them probably the amount of tension that we should. So these are good little movements to just get some fluid moving in our hands and allows for our hands to stay supple and able to hold things and write and type and text and do all the things that we need to do. Good. Bringing your hands down onto your thighs, just start to circle the whole body. And so circling within the spinal column, so allowing for some movement in that spinal column. And you don't have to go to extreme. You can just do little baby circles, or you can make them more big, but whatever feels right. And the thing about yoga is always making sure that you are doing what feels right for you. Be your own internal teacher. If something doesn't feel right, trust it. Good. Coming here and settling in. We'll go into some seated cat and cows. So these are simply just arching the back. Draw shoulder blades together, spread the collarbone. Take a big inhale. Exhale, round the spine, allowing for the spine to move in all these different ways. Spinal health is super important. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhaling and exhaling. All of these things that we've been doing thus far, just FYI, you can do them in a chair. So if you're at work, you can do this in a chair. So stopping there for a moment, we'll bring our right hand down, stretch our left arm over. Again, these are just gentle warm-ups for the spine. So maybe you want to put your hand on a block here if your hand can't quite reach the ground, or if it's more comfortable, and then go ahead, release. Moving over to the other side. Again, you can bring a block over to the side if you need to, and try to look either forward or up. When you gaze down, the whole body goes down. So we want to just go ahead and look forward or up if possible, and try to keep a relaxed face. Good. And release. Coming off of our block, if you're on a block or a bolster or pillow or anything like that, coming to all fours. We call this tabletop. And so coming to tabletop and just stacking your knees right over underneath your hips and your shoulders over your elbows, elbows over wrists. And I'm just doing this little rocking motion just because it allows me to kind of get organized in this tabletop position. So you can put a blanket or knee pads underneath your knees if you need to, or just roll up the mat a little bit. So we're going to continue those cat and cows. So it's lowering the belly, shoulders back, exhale, rounding the spine. And so going through these cat and cows, gentle. Bringing the breath with you, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. So you could continue to do this many, many, many times, and it's always nice to do them maybe like 5 to 10 times. But if you only have a few minutes, you can just do them 3 or 4 times. Bring the toes to touch and bring your heels and hips closer spaced together. And stretch your arms out. Now, if you have shoulder issues, you can stack your hands and just put your head down like this. You can just rest on your forearms. You can even bring the hands down by here, by your sides, if you're having any shoulder pain or tightness in the shoulders. Otherwise, you can go ahead and reach your hands way, way out. Let the forehead come down to the ground and allow your body to just sink into this pose. Taking some inhalations and exhalations here organically, naturally. Feel that expansion on the inhale and the contraction on the exhale. Good. And child's pose is a place where you could stay for a long period of time if you wanted to, but we're going to move on. We're going to go ahead and come up to all fours again, thinking about pulling the navel in and creating a nice solid tabletop position. Hands are connected and elbows are not buckled out and shoulders aren't up by the ears. You're just resting everything down, slight micro bend in the elbows. We're going to go ahead and step our right foot forward. Sometimes a set of blocks is helpful here. Tucking your left toes, you're going to go ahead and step your left foot forward. And so being here, you can keep the blocks with you and just hanging down, head down. If you have some vertigo or anything like that, you're going to want to use these blocks and stay up. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and fold forward, coming into this wide forward fold, or this, the standing forward fold, and just hanging down, letting the head just drape down. And I have a slight knee bend, so I'm being mindful of my back right now. So I'm just having a little bit of a knee bend going on here, and that's totally fine. I'm kind of swaying, and I have opposite elbows holding with my hands. And then you're just going to roll all the way up, like really slow, and take a big inhale and exhale, hands at the heart space. I'll turn forward so you can see what we're doing next. So we're just going to go ahead and inhale the arms all the way up. Good. Exhale, bend the knees and forward fold again. So coming down to a forward fold, letting the head hang. Sometimes it's nice, you can just put your hands behind your calves or thighs and just allow yourself to fold forward. So there's lots of styles of yoga. You can certainly power up this sequence and you can make it even slower. I'm just kind of keeping it a little bit slower today, working more into just letting the body release opposed to building too much strength. You got to figure out what you need for the day and then just accept that and move forward with it instead of forcing yourself into something you don't want to do. Inhale, arms all the way up. Let's go ahead, exhale, hands behind you. So interlacing the hands, squeezing the shoulder blades. Just fold a little bit, half back, stretching through the shoulders. Good. Inhale, rising back up. Exhale, hands to the space in front of the heart. We're going to move into a little bit of a lunge here. So we're going to go ahead and inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. I'm going to use the blocks here, putting them on a kind of a half level. I'm going to step my left knee back and point my toes back. Bring the blocks with you if you want to, right by your side. So I'm wiggling my foot forward on the right side, knee over the ankle, and rising all the way up. So if your shoulders are feeling really tight, this is a place that you can bring them right at heart space, or you can even just bring them out in front if you want. It doesn't have to be the same as what anybody else can do. Just listen to what your body needs. So for today, I'm going to bring my arms up and just hold here this nice little lunge. Good. Just breathing here, deep inhale, deep exhale. And then I'm bringing my hands to the blocks here, and I'm going to tuck the back toes. Now I'm going to just start shifting forward and back. So this just allows for my front of my leg to get a stretch and the hamstring also to get a stretch. So I'm also moving through the hips, and I'm going to bring the breath along with this, inhaling forward and exhaling back. And I'm tucking the back toes to kind of multitask here and get some stretching of my back foot. And then bringing yourself forward, bringing the front leg straight and then exhaling and folding. I'm hinging right at the hips and I'm allowing my body to just fold over the right leg. Now coming back forward, we're going to go back into that lunge, except I'm going to offer another option for those who would like to have a deeper pose, a default option. So if you would like to, you can lift the back knee and then rise up into crescent lunge. So this is a little bit of a heat building and strength building. I'm hugging my muscle around my bone of my right thigh. So I'm wrapping muscle to bone and engaging here, taking an inhale and an exhale. And then I'm going to go ahead and exhale the hands down. So I'm going to leave my back knee up. You can drop it down if you want to. I'm going to press right into my left hand, and I'm going to reach the right arm up and coming into a little bit of a twist. So you can have the option of leaving the back knee down. You can circle around, taking some circles here with the right arm. And then bring the right hand down, and we're going to step forward and inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands, heart space. So we're going to do that whole thing on the other side. Inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, forward fold. Step your right foot back, drop your right knee down. I'm going to move the blocks with me. And then I'm going to bring the arms up. And I'm going to be here in this nice low lunge. And I'm thinking about dropping my shoulders down, creating length in the back of the neck. And just holding here. Now, if you want a little extra shoulder release, you can bring the arms around. This is a variation. Bring the arms around the back and open the chest. And just breathe in and out here. So I'm stretching a little bit into the back leg. I'm not doing any vinyasas like sun salutations today. I'm going to just save my shoulders. Inhale the arms back up, and then on the exhale, bringing your hands down, we're going to start moving through lunge, straight front leg, lunge, straight front leg. I'm going to tuck the back toes because when I go back, I'm offering a little toe stretch here. And back. And then after the last one, I'm going to flex my left foot and straighten the left leg and take a big inhale. And then I'm just going to bend the elbows and fold forward. And just hold here. Inhaling and exhaling. Always coming back to the breath. Good, and then we'll go ahead, bend in. I'm gonna go in for that extra option of lifting the back knee. Inhale, rise up to crescent. And hanging out here. Big inhale, big exhale. Good. Hugging the muscle to bone. And then I'm gonna bring my right hand down to the right block, and I'm going to lift the left arm up. Now the other option is just to place your left hand on your thigh and look over the shoulder. You can drop your back knee if you want, or really extend it back like this. Inhale, rise up and hang out here. Circle the arm around, getting some range of motion in your shoulder. Good. And then bringing your hand down to the block. We're going to go ahead, drop the back knee for a moment, release the blocks, and step your left leg back. And now I'm going to offer child's pose where we were in the beginning. Toes touch, knees wide, head down. Or if you'd like, you can lift your hips up and pedal out into downward facing dog, right and left. Inhaling and exhaling. And then finding both heels towards the earth, lifting through the tailbone, pressing heels down, gaze towards top of thighs, head is loose. And taking a few breaths here. Just holding for a few moments. Good. When you're ready, coming back down onto the knees, we're going to go ahead and cross the ankles and come forward. With a full align and flow practice, we would go through more standing postures. But for today, we're just going to tone it down a little bit, bringing your feet out in front of you, flexing the toes. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, fold, hanging out here. Chest is lifted and just allowing for a nice forward fold. You can take a strap around your legs, your feet, and help yourself forward, or you can use your hands on your toes if you're there. Good, and just staying here for a few breaths. Inhaling back, all the way back up. Taking your right foot into your left thigh, reaching the arms back up into the air, and then again, folding forward. Staying here for a few breaths. Good. And then inhaling up. Let's release your right leg down, maybe rock a little side to side, and then bring your left leg in. Rise up with the arms and exhale, fold. And allow a hinge at the hips, pushing through the right heel, allowing for length in the back of the right leg. Good. Inhale back up. Bring both feet together and open up the feet and allow your body and your hips to release out. Take a big inhale, fold here, exhale. Maybe your elbows are pressing against the insides of the legs to help them open just a little bit more. Good. Inhale back up. Good. Bring your knees together. Going to go right ahead and roll down onto our backs and just allow our back body to be on the earth, and you can kind of rock the knees side to side and then bring the knees in towards the chest and allow for your body to be in this little ball here. You can bring the forehead up to the knees and you can really get yourself into a small ball, or you can just stay with your knees into your chest and your back body on the ground, your shoulders, neck, head. Releasing down. Bring your hands down by your sides. Good. And then just bring both legs up into the air. Circle out the ankles. Let them crack and move. Maybe pedaling the feet here. And then bring your feet back down, pressing into your hands. Lift up your hips into bridge pose. Holding for a few breaths. And then releasing down. Extending this down onto the ground and just allowing your body to be restful. So coming into what we call Shavasana, and this is the pose of rest. So closing your eyes and allowing your body to stay here for as many minutes as you'd like, and tuning inward to yourself, tuning out all the stress of the world, tuning into what you need as a person, a human, what you need emotionally is to recalibrate, perhaps taking a step away from the sensory overload of the world, your daily duties. Just allow yourself this time here to surrender, allow the earth to support you, and your breath to come back to a neutral, natural breathing pattern. So thank you for joining, and stay in your Shavasana as long as you need to, and longer maybe. And stay tuned for more short flows to help you through your day. Namaste.